Hello there, everyone, and welcome to my thoughts on the newest, on the new Joker film. I did the review for the trailer. I think it was actually my last video, so you guys can go check that out if you want, if you haven't seen the trailer already. But I'm here today to talk about my opinions on it and just, I guess, elaborate on what I was saying in my review, because I feel like I could have gone a bit more into depth with it, and I could have, because I am really excited for this film. And first of all, I just want to talk about, the insane, absolutely insane amount of praise this film has gotten from critics, and because it was shown to critics and also reviewers and movie reviewers and YouTubers and stuff at the Venice Film Festival, which is where they show a lot of new films. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was there, new Tarantino film, and Joker was there, and the reception for it has just been amazing. Empire, this is the most recent news I think we've got, has given it 5 stars out of 5 and has called it the film of the year. So if that's not a way to make you excited, then I don't know what is. And then IGN's given it 10 out of 10. So obviously that's something. And then IMDb has given it a 9.6 out of 10. This is the highest tier of filmmaking. And honestly, I couldn't be more excited. I mean, I've tried to stay. When it came to Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, I always tried to stay quite non-biased, because I remember I was going to be a bit biased purely from the first trailer, because the trailer, that's kind of what got me hooked. It struck a serious chord with me, that first trailer. It was absolutely amazing, and I just remember thinking Joaquin Phoenix is going to be absolutely brilliant, and I even said to myself that he may even outshine Heath Ledger. And I know that's a very, very big ask, and it's probably quite stupid as well. But I thought that Joaquin Phoenix could do it. But since then, I've tried to stay quite non-biased and try and wait until the film came out for me to really give my opinion on who I think the best Joker is. But after seeing these last few trailers and hearing such amazing stuff about Phoenix as the Joker, I can't help but think that he will be the best Joker we've ever seen. I mean, he's nailed the laugh. He's absolutely nailed the laugh. I love the laugh. He's absolutely nailed the laugh. And it just looks like such a well-performed character. And not even just necessarily as the Joker, but the character of Arthur Fleck, it just looks to be seriously well performed by Joaquin Phoenix, and he's going to be the best part of the whole film. So, I mean, obviously that's what you'd want, and the whole point is not to really romanticize the idea of the Joker, but more or less understand. So, they treat the story as a tragedy, but they don't expect you to forgive the horrible things Fleck does as the Joker. Obviously they're not trying to show people with mental health as psychopaths. They're trying to show Arthur Fleck as a psychopath. They're not necessarily trying to I don't know. They're not trying to make him seem cool or edgy. He's mentally deranged, and I think that's the most important thing to remember about the film, is they're trying to make him seem mentally deranged, proper messed up. Not yes, he has mental health issues, but that's not what's wrong with him. He's mentally messed up in the head. He has violent tendencies and he's insane. And I feel like that's perfect for the Joker, because I think from what IGN said, the whole film is about him, and one of the main reasons as to why he becomes the Joker is to have some human affection, because he's never had a happy day in his life, and he wants to have that. He wants to be noticed, and I feel I don't know why, but it fits in so well with the Batman continuity. I know it's meant to be separate and Batman might not even exist in this universe, but it fits in so well to me, because I always thought, if you think of the Arkham games, the whole thing between Batman and the Joker is that they can't keep apart from each other. And I feel it's a really good message, especially for this film in particular, mainly because he's going after that human human affection, and Batman is the closest thing he has to that, and that to me explains why he's his arch villain, because the Joker's that messed up in the head, he thinks that Batman's the only person who will ever show him any attention, and he's the only one who cares about him because he won't kill him. And I don't know, I feel like there could be so many really good links with the Batman continuity with this, but they're probably not going to do that, and that's fine. I'd love it if this is a just a standalone film, but I'd love it even more if it was connected to the Matt Reeves Batman, the one with Robert Pattinson. If that turns out to be true, I will genuinely cry. But there's just so much more they can do with this character, and it looks so original, so well performed, so well acted, and just the fact that there's been so much positive reviews for it, and it's been being called 10 out of 10 film of the year, 9.6 out of 10, whatever. It just, I don't think there's probably going to be a more definitive villain film. You have films about a villain every now and then. I mean, obviously you do, but I don't think there'll be one as quite as good as this. I feel like this one will be the staple, and I'm more interested for what it can do for DC films down the line, because the issue I've had with DC recently, and why I've not reviewed Justice League, for example, or Wonder Woman, or Aquaman, or Shazam, and not to say that I didn't enjoy them, I enjoyed the hell out of Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Shazam. Justice League was okay, it was definitely an improvement, but the reason why I haven't really reviewed them is because they just don't interest me as much, mainly because I feel like, now this is probably going to get me, it's probably going to really annoy some people, but I think they're trying too hard to be like Marvel, and that's just my opinion. I feel like they're trying way too hard to be like Marvel, and with the whole connected universe thing, and everything trying to be like that, standalone films and having one big film for them all to come together. It was great, it was a good idea, everyone wanted to see it, but after seeing it in practice, Snyder had some really good ideas, but he just didn't execute it great, and Justice League ended up being a bit bland, whereas Avengers just struck it lucky with Joss Whedon and managed to have this brilliant connected universe that was built so subtly, but yet in your face at the same time. I feel like the only issue with DC is they've tried way too hard to be like Marvel, trying to make superheroes funny, when I feel like, think about the Dark Knight trilogy. They were good because of how, I'm not saying because it's dark it's good, they were good because they allowed, it allowed DC to separate itself from Marvel and have just its own feel. The Dark Knight films, they were dark, right, no pun intended, they were dark, but it gave them a characteristic that you could associate with DC, and I feel like that's really, really important, especially for how popular superhero films nowadays, because they all just kind of feel the same. I just need a Joker. It's not a superhero film. I just want to make that clear. It's not a superhero film. It's not a supervillain film. It's just an in-depth character study of the Joker / Arthur Fleck. But again, I'm kind of glad it's not a superhero movie, because we've seen enough of them. The Batman, the Matt Reeves Batman, is meant to be R-rated, so yes please, and it's also meant to be a detective thing, and that interests me because Batman doesn't always have to be fighting people and taking on Darkseid or whatever. He's quite a small-time criminal, small-time hero on some occasions, and he only really does detective work and stuff. I mean, his nickname is literally the world's greatest detective, and so far he hasn't really been doing much detecting. So I'm just so glad, and I hope this inspires Warner Brothers to make more films like this, make more darker, singular films that are really entertaining and are like an art form as opposed to something we've seen done over and over and over again. It's so original, and it just goes back to that point of it being so original, and that's why I'm so intrigued by it, because it looks so original, looks fun. Well, I say it looks fun, it looks dark, but it looks fun to watch. It doesn't look boring, I'll say that much. But it just looks so intriguing in its premise and its execution. and I just can't wait to see what comes from it, because apparently they're wanting to do some more films, like singular films like this, like the Joker, but they're wanting to do them with other Batman villains, and I'd be down for that. I'd say don't specifically do Batman villains, because then that kind of, I don't know, that kind of cheapens it a bit. I feel like if you can do some Batman villains. Like, I'd love to see one about the Riddler. I'd love to see one about the Riddler, or like Scarecrow, like Jonathan Crane. I'd love to see that. And then something like Bane or someone, you know, that'd be cool. But obviously, I don't want it all to be just Batman villains, you know. Like get, I don't know, like a Deathstroke movie in there, or you know, those Titans, or you know, anything along those lines, or maybe, I don't know, Lex Luthor. That'd be a good film. I'd watch that. What about you? Like Lex Luthor pre-Superman. That'd be good. And yeah, like, I don't think I've ever really been this excited for a film. Like, I don't know what it is. It just looks so original, and it looks just so intriguing, and it just has this mystique about it. Like, I don't really know much about the plot still, because again, they've kept that quite vague. And so have the reviewers, thank God. You know, they've not really told us anything that happens within the film. They've told us a basic premise, but they've never told us about how it's executed. And I feel like they're doing that on purpose, mainly because they physically cannot describe it. I've heard it's meant to be one of those films that you're meant to have multiple viewings of, and if so, yeah, I'd love that. Again, I'd love that. And I just can't explain how excited I am for this film, and how I think it's going to impact superhero films for the rest of time. You know, I mean, obviously it's not going to affect Marvel, because they're going to keep doing their thing, you know, and, you know, the whole Spider-Man in the MCU thing that's messed everything up, but I don't really care about that. You know, as long as we still get Tom Holland as Spider-Man, I don't care. And who knows, he might even join like the little Venom-verse, like the Sony-verse. And yeah, so I'm gonna wrap up this video now, just with a quick little synopsis of, well, not synopsis, but just a quick little conclusion. So, you know, I'm really excited for this film, and I cannot wait to review it in October when it comes out, and I will try and get a review up as soon as I can, because this film looks great. So I'm going to try and get that review as soon as I can, and see it as soon as I can, and yeah, sound off in the comments below about how excited you are, how you think Joaquin will do, and if you agree with all of the hype that's been building up for the Joker. So thank you guys for watching. Have a good one, guys.
Send in the clown.